How are cities thinking about AI? Have you seen any really interesting use cases where cities saying, you know what, the heck with the old way of doing things, let's embrace something? I've been following what San Jose's been doing. It seems like they're leaning into all this different tech, and they've been doing it for years and years and doing a really great job at it. But what are some of the great use cases that you're seeing with cities embracing AI?
Yes, there are cities like San Jose, like Bellevue, Washington. I mean, there are places that, or even Miami-Dade County with their chief innovation officer, that are doing really great things, and they're testing it. And to be honest with you, sometimes we think cities are far behind. I would argue in some cases they're further ahead on the use cases than the folks at like OpenAI. What's really interesting is there's an inherent tension, right? Like even here in DC, our mayor is cautious, and I think rightfully so, about AVs and robo taxis. She's sort of got a wait and see approach. But some of that is the tension between job loss, right, and gig workers who are a larger and larger part of our economy and rely on the ability to make money, driving. And so we know that long term, a lot of those jobs are going to evaporate, but it's a very real tension in cities trying to figure out how do you limit the job losses and enhance the sort of um, accretive, right, like task reduction, if you will, for jobs, right? Like that's a good thing. There was an ad on the Super Bowl last night about somebody using AI so they could take a few days off. I mean that's great. But I think that what I've seen is, and what I've been involved with is AI at the curb. And the curb is so important because it's one of these last bastions in cities that states can't really control. Um, and the federal government can't control. Local government will always control the curb. And so using AI at the curb, where like right now, 4% generally of people actually pay at loading zones, obey the actual loading zone rules. And so by taking that to 94% almost overnight using AI at the curb, I mean, there's huge enhancements to public space, to quality of life, to throughput, and also to coffers because people are actually paying for the time they use.
So, how do you see that being managed? Is that a camera system that feeds into an LLM, or how do you see that being managed?
Yeah. So the company I'm on the board of is called Automotus, and nobody else is really doing exactly what they do. There's like Hayden AI, you may have heard of, that also uh, does something like this, but on buses. This is on fixed infrastructure in a city, typically on a, it could be a streetlight pole, utility pole. You mount a few cameras per block. You start by targeting those loading zones or pickup drop off zones, commercial zones where people are like where you need turnover, right? And businesses rely on that turnover. And so in most cities, the majority of people parked in those loading zones are not conducting business. They're just parking, and they're breaking the law, and they're not paying. And so by putting in these cameras and saying, hey, we're going to allow you to pay by the minute, 5 cents, 3 cents, 10 cents, it can be dynamic. It can grow over time. So it could be 10 cents the first 10 minutes, 20 cents the next 10 minutes, 30 cents, because you want that turnover, right? And it's hugely impactful. In Pittsburgh, they've seen basically double parking in their commercial corridor go away. And that's huge because if you have one car blocking a lane of traffic at rush hour, you can back up for miles, right? And so whether it's greenhouse gas emissions, whether it's congestion and getting people to work, whether it's, charging people appropriately at the curb versus punitive fines, right? We can do this with curb pass, and it's just like easy pass. And I think actually in cities in the future, this will be what you use to pay for all curbside use.
When does it get built into the car where the car knows you're on the curb, your credit card's already in the car? Because to me, for this to really scale, you got to eliminate the friction. Because now you got to get out your phone, try and remember your license plate, go to the sign, type in the thing, and it's a big pain in the you know what. If it's integrated in the car, okay, sure, fine. This is easy.
Well, two things. We've already solved that because with curb pass, when you pull in, the AI knows what kind of vehicle it is. It can tell if it's Lyft or Uber or Amazon or whatever, and it can read your license plate, right? So literally you pull in and you get out and walk away. That's it. There is nothing else. Now, in the future, should there be an API in the car? Sure. I mean, that's very easy to do, but it's really not even needed. Um, and so, in the future, whether it's limited traffic zones, congestion pricing, you just need that one camera to do all the things, right? And it's really just line of sight. Um, and with solar, in many cases, the cameras don't even need to be plugged in. So it's like it's getting better and better and better. And cities don't have the ability to deploy endless amounts of personnel to go out there. And by the way, get abused on the streets or in the cold or in the heat. Why do that? You can elevate those people to a desk job reviewing the camera shots and the video and analyzing it and approving citations or thinking about how we want to manage the curb more or expanding loading zones, right? So we can move people into better and better jobs too, instead of job loss.